about 2 o'clock in the morning and I can't sleep, so I thought I'd talk to you instead. Um, the past 4 weeks we've been doing discussion questions from Capturing Jasmina, my new book for young adults on modern-day slavery. And the main character, Jasmina, gets trafficked and forced to work in a garment factory making clothes for Americans. And one of the moms who read the book along with her daughter, she sent me a message saying that she was just horrified at the thought of children being forced to make our clothes, and what should she do about that? How can she stop that from happening? So that's what we're going to talk about today. The concept of garment factories, sweatshops. What does that mean? What can we do about it? If you look at the clothes in the closet and look at the little tags, you'll probably find quite a lot of your clothes come from Bangladesh or Indonesia, 2 of the countries where I used to live. And are all those clothes being made by kids? No. Are all those clothes being made by people who've been trafficked? No. There are 2 groups of people who work in sweatshops, and one group would be the forced labor group. Those are the people who are trafficked, who are forced to work here, who aren't getting paid for it. And the other group is chosen labor, and they may not be getting paid very much, but they are getting paid for their work, and they are doing this job by choice. And for the one side, the side of the trafficked people, how are you supposed to keep that from happening? Well, there's not really any way to keep it from happening except by fighting human trafficking itself. If that's something you want to get involved with, I would recommend looking into IJN, International Justice Mission. I believe it's www.ijn.org. And if you're on my Facebook page, Human Trafficking Stolen Woman, you already know a lot about IJN because I love sharing about the rescues that they do. They work specifically in India, and they're very good at rescuing situations like garment factory trafficking, brick kiln factory, labor trafficking, and such. As far as the chosen labor, what are you supposed to do about the fact that most of our clothes comes from other countries where people aren't getting paid very much? When I lived in Bangladesh, there was a market that was outside, and they would get the cast-offs or the mistakes or the extra overstock from the garment factories, and you could go there and you could buy all this name brand stuff super cheap. And it was a lesson in embarrassment because even back then in my size 6 self, I was bigger than most Bengalis, and so they yell at you to try and get you to come in. Oh sister, you come, I have big size for you, big size for you. I'm thinking, thank you so much. But you could find Bugle Boy and Reebok and Calvin Klein and all these different label clothing that, of course, was sold in America, and you could get it really cheap. And in one little spot, I remember one little booth, they actually had the labels themselves for sale. You could buy these little labels for about a quarter or maybe less. And I remember thinking I wanted to buy a Calvin Klein label and then come back to America and buy the ugliest outfit I could find and slap the label on it and be like, oh, I'm so cool. Because really the labels, they're just labels.